Good evening. This is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. I am your host, Rich Girl Chantel, and this is In the Know. Listen, where we bring hot, relevant topics to you, right where you are in your home. I need you to tag, share, and invite someone to tune in. If this is your first time watching, please let us know. I want to see everybody that's on. Come on. We bring real, relevant, raw topics to you. And my phone just wants to keep on talking to us. So I want you guys to please tag, please share, please invite everyone to tune in on tonight. We have a fabulous show to bring to you tonight. I have a very special guest, and I really truly want you to hear her story. Listen, how many of you know that when in life that we have many things that we go through, many things that we may experience, from the time we were put here on earth. Even some people have experienced in the mother's womb, you know what I'm saying? Like this, a hard time just even getting here. I just want you guys to understand that against all odds, that you can make it. So tonight's show is named just that, against all odds. Against all odds. Literally, what are some things that you have triumphed over? What trial has become your triumph? What mess has become your message? What test has become your testimony? What has it been? What can you attest to say that God has been good to you? Yes, I believe in God. God is my all in all. And this show is Christian based, but we do cover topics that are all controversial sometimes, and also just topics to unveil the greatness inside of you. So listen, if you would like to be a part of the show, a guest on the show, please email us at inthenowdetroit@gmail.com. That's inthenowdetroit@gmail.com. So you can actually experience what a time on the show to be able to tell your story, promote your product. Also, we're looking for sponsors as well, sponsors of In the Know, people that will come on and sponsor the show. Maybe you're a business owner and we are building our audience. We have some great guests that have already been on, some great guests. Even our guest tonight, she's very relevant in this area and across the world. So we thank God for her even accepting the invitation to come on. So we're going to bring her on shortly. But I want you to please tag, share, invite others to tune in on tonight. Can you all hear me? Who's on? Thank you. Good evening, Olivia Dobbs. Good evening, Virginia Lewis, Imani Turner. Just tell us where you're watching from on tonight. Nicole Baldwin, thank you for joining us on tonight. Tell us where you're watching from. And as you come on, please do not be selfish. Tag, share, invite others to tune in. We're going to have a wonderful time on tonight. We have, once again, a guest that I am very proud to know. Her name is Lakina Folks. She is right here from the Detroit area, but she's been she's been getting around. Her name is getting out there, and I'm just so glad to know her. And I'm just excited that she, accepted the invitation to come on In the Know on tonight. So what is In the Know? Who are we? Let me just give you a little bit about who we are. This is a talk show. It is web-based. We're on YouTube as well, so you can watch us on YouTube live. We're here every Sunday at 9 p.m., bringing hot, relevant topics right to your home. If you're at work, you can watch us at work. If you are driving, be careful, but tune in and listen. We are here to just bring the topics that are relevant to you, relevant topics on politics, topics of ministry, church, topics on things that have transpired in your life, whether it's business wise, topics of controversial topics. We talked about politics. We've talked about we brought people on what we experienced. They're going to tell their story concerning some of the things that they've been through, molestation and things like that. So we just want to encourage you to tell your story. That's what In the Know is about. So you can tell your story because guess what? A lot of us have stories that really have brought glory to our lives. And some of you might be still going through some things that you are not ready to share. But in due time, we want you to share your story. I have a story. And I one day I want to get on and tell the story how I even got to this place to be able to come out and be a voice for this time. So I'm not here to preach to you on tonight, but I'm telling you, I believe that what God is doing in this season, that He is raising up voices in different areas of entertainment, of ministry, in the marketplace. Now, everyone want to be, if you want to be in ministry, it doesn't always mean that you will be behind the pulpit. So God will give you a voice in entertainment. So I believe God has given me a voice for entertainment as well as in ministry. So I want to encourage you guys to don't give up. Let your voice be heard. Someone wanted me to share it on YouTube. They're not on Facebook. So give me 1 second. I'm going to share my feed to them. So I want you guys to understand that we are here to bring hot, relevant topics to you. We're going to have some fun. The song that you heard me playing earlier was Big. I need y'all to understand that God is a big, big, big God. And let me tell you, He wants to do big, big, big things for you. And we are going to be experiencing some big things with our guest on tonight. God's doing some big things in her life. And I want you to understand that He wants to do the same for you. Forgive me, y'all. Forgive me. I'm trying to skip an ad. I'm trying to go back to this song. Listen, I want you to understand that God is doing big things. I thank God for my son, because he's been helping me with the setting up and everything. And of course, YouTube has, excuse me for the over, I want y'all to hear this song. Let me skip this ad. I want you guys to hear this song. It's called Big by Pastor Mike. He's doing some big things in your life. So I'll stop by to tell you on tonight. Tag, share, invite someone to tune in, because God is doing big things for you. And we're going to talk about it here on In the Know. Hot, relevant topics, unveiling the greatness in you. Let's go on tonight. I believe. Come on. It's my season. It's your season. Come on. I need to feel your energy through this live. I need to feel your energy through this live, because when I bring my guest on, I want her to feel welcome. I want her to feel like you guys are excited about what God has done in her life. So guess what? He can do the same for you. Guess what? Against all odds. We're gonna go into it right now. So I want you guys to share. I want you to tag, invite. Let me invite my friend. He is not on Facebook, so he wants me to share it on YouTube. I am live. Come on in. Come on, so listen to this song real quick. Don't be like, what's she doing? Just concentrate. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a fantastic show. I am so excited. Listen, I got my cup. Y'all want one of these? Coming soon. In the Know merch coming soon. Okay, one more person I gotta share it with. I want you guys to understand that we are live every single Sunday. Okay, listen to this song. I'll be right back. Hold up. I'm going to bring my guest on in a minute. She's waiting patiently in the back of the studio. Let me see. Who is? There's a couple of my friends not on Facebook. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm going to quit looking at this feed, because some of y'all have been on ever since we went live. And I thank you so much, Letitia. I thank everyone that has joined all over. I shared it on our guest page. I see my pastor, Shantae, on. Thank you so much, Pastor, for joining us. For I know God. Woo, I believe it. Do you believe that today? All right, y'all, let's get on with the show. Let's get on. Y'all some fun. Y'all fun. I like y'all. I don't know what y'all saying, but we'll figure it out in a minute. Let me see who's on here saying so. Yes, it's my season. That's right. Good evening, Paulette Cook. Imani's watching from Hampton, Virginia. This is your second time, Letitia, watching. Thank you so much for joining. Tag, share. This show is going to be phenomenal. So let's get on with the show because I want to bring, hey, Aisha Reddy in the house. Aisha Reddy is in the house on tonight. I am so excited. Listen, we say that at my church, Elohim Kingdom Ministries. Shout out to Elohim Kingdom Ministries. Every time we say excited, I need you guys to pump the hearts. Pump the hearts. Every time you hear excited, just pump the hearts. Pump the hearts. Every time you hear excited, pump those hearts. Yes. All right, let's get on with the show. So tonight we are going to be talking about, hey, Linda. Hi, God bless you, Linda. Wow, I got to have you on the show, Miss Linda. You're another phenomenal woman. Listen, let's talk about against all odds. Against all odds. What have you endured in life that people are saying you have made it against all odds? Think about it. Some of the things that we've been through. I could think about a few things that people was like, wow, how did you overcome that? So let's talk about it. We have a special guest tonight. I want to introduce you to her in a moment. But first, I'm going to read her bio. Lakina Folks is the author of many books, a wife, a mother of 6 children. She is a businesswoman and entrepreneur who has many different businesses. She graduated with her bachelor's in business and a master degree in social justice. She believes in justice and doing what's right, and all people should be treated fairly. She speaks for those who are afraid to speak for themselves. She is a giving person and loves to help people. She is the vice president of the Lost and Found Christian Association, whose mission is to provide battered and sexually abused, and women and their children rehabilitation. Listen, she is a part of the Women's Councils of Realtors. She is a VIP member of the International Association of Professional Women. She is the founder of Treasure Within, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that has been designed for young ladies ages 8 to 19. The program is intended to empower, motivate, and uplift their self-esteem and teach them leadership skills. Listen, I had a chance to be a part of that great organization, Treasure Within, as one of the mentors, and truly, it is a blessing. Listen, Lakina is also started her talk show. We'll talk about that too, called Believe in Yourself Tuesday, who I am the casting director, by the way. The Believe in Yourself Tuesday comes on Tuesday, so get ready for the next show. All right, she's also on YouTube. She's also, she has some other things that she's doing as well. She's big on faith and the power of believing. She loves to empower all people to the best that they can be. Listen, I want to welcome none other than my sister, my friend, to the show. My sister, she told me let her know when she's coming on. I love her because she's such a lady. We about to go live with Lakina Folks. Hey, Lakina. Oh, let me unmute you, Lord. Okay. All right. There you go. Say hi again. I didn't have you unmuted.
Hello. How are everyone doing this evening? I am so excited to be on In the Know.
Yes, we are excited to have you. I'm so excited about this show. I wanted to definitely give you the proper introduction on tonight. So, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing great. No complaints here. God is good.
Yes, he is. So we when I had to tell, every time I go live, my lighting is doing something different. Every time I go live, before I go live, rather, I always pray. And how prayer works, right? Prayer works. So I always, hey Brian, out of Baltimore, Maryland. There's a lot of people on. Don't get nervous. It's a lot of people on. Listen, so I when I go live, I said, Lord, well, who's next? Who do I bring on next? I was laying in my bed and he brought you before my face. I mean, my mind's eye. I'm like, wow, duh. I'm like, I had a duh moment. Like, duh. Like, for real, God, this is a good, thank you. And he said, call the show Against All Odds. So let's get to it. We're not going to be here all night, but we're going to have a good time. Please continue to tag. Please continue to share. Please continue to invite others to tune in. I'm telling you, this woman, this phenomenal woman has a very powerful testimony. And I want you people to hear this, how against all odds, she has transformed and still transforming. And God has transcended her into a place where she is and help. And she, not only that, she's helping others do the same. Okay, so we're going to go on. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing, Lakina. As we said, stated in the your bio, that you're doing a lot.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little. Let's go back. I like to go with some of my I like to go from the beginning and then right where we are now. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Where did you go?
Well, I grew up in the suburbs of Michigan, in Oak Park, Michigan. My parents were leaders in the church, so I grew up, in the church.
Okay.
Middle class family, so was a little sheltered until I got in the teenage years.
You got in the teenage years. Okay. So do you have siblings?
Yes, I have. It's a total of 6 of us. So I am the oldest of 6 children. So I have 5 siblings. So I have 4 sisters and 1 brother. And then, I actually have, I have 2 other stepsisters as well. So
wow, you never knew you were the oldest.
Yes, I am.
And yet so young.
Right.
We don't talk about that. Wow, awesome. So you said you grew up in the suburbs and your parents kind of sheltered you. It's a little feedback. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, there you go. Oh no, it came back. Oh, we behind technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna ignore it. I don't know if the audience can hear it. Let's keep going. So you said you grew up sheltered. Exactly what does that mean in a short version? What does shelter mean? So when you couldn't wear makeup, that's what shelter was to me. You couldn't wear makeup.
So, yeah. So my parents were very strict, basically. So we could not wear pants. I would have to sneak to put some pants on to go to school. My mother didn't know it, so if she's watching, sorry.
Now she knows.
Me and my sister, we would go behind the house before we got on the bus, put our pants in our bag, change before we went to school. We would go to the mall and buy the stuff that we wanted to wear and change, because we couldn't wear pants. Makeup, it was okay because my mother sold Mary Kay, so that she didn't have a problem with. It's just, you couldn't wear that red lip.
You definitely couldn't wear the blue lip.
No.
No blue lip. We were going to hell. Right. Lord, thank you, Lord. We've been delivered.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm not sure. Do me a favor, Lakina, do me a favor because I don't want to. We're gonna get through this. Can you log out? I'm gonna have you come back in. I'm just gonna keep the audience. I want to see if that's you, because if it is, it's probably just you need to log out and log back in. We'll get on with stuff. All right, bear with us, guys. This happens sometimes we're live. Don't worry about it. We get through it. Yep, that was her feed. So we're gonna get through this. Thank you for those that are texting me saying you can hear it. It's competing with our voices. We're not going to be defeated on today. We're going to get through this show with no hesitations and no feedback. So we will not be defeated. Okay, so she's back on. Let's see if it's better. Okay, it sounds like it's better, Lakina. Can you say something for me?
Yep, can you hear me okay?
That is much better. See, and you came back all quick. Okay, let's keep it moving. So you have 6 siblings, or 5 siblings, so there's 6 of you guys. And so you said you grew up in a sheltered household. This meaning kind of like your parents were strict, and we all been there. And so how did that affect you growing up? How did that affect you as a child, and even going into your older years? How did it affect? Did it? It might not have affected you.
It affected me a little bit, where we did get a little bit, rebellious. But, I love the church I was going to. I went to Greater Grace Temple, so grew up there and very active there in the ministries. I almost worked on every department there was as a young girl. So it wasn't until we got being a teenager and really wanted to date and have boyfriends. That's when it kind of became a problem. And then, we would sneak off, run away. So it was during that time.
Okay, so you said in your teenage years, it was a rebellious state that you reached, and you ran away, and some other things had transpired. So, and even with where you even had your baby, your first child.
Yep, at 16.
At 16.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you say that was something that made, because of the shelter, and it happens, I've seen it so many times, even myself, that all the sheltering sometimes can make the children, once they get out of that house or they just leave, just go bug wild. Would you say that was your case? We're going somewhere with this, and I've already talked to King about these questions, so we about to go somewhere. Y'all, this story is powerful. So would that have made you rebel, like you said?
So a little bit, because very early on, about the age 9 years old, I was molested. So that allowed perversion to come on me at a young age. So I was always hot, hot.
Right.
So that means I was doing stuff at an early age. So that caused some rebelliousness. My parents didn't know, because I didn't never tell them. So at 16, when I became pregnant, they thought that, how could this happen? You were a virgin. Like, what happened? We brought you up in church. Like, why did you do this? So, and they still didn't know about that experience of mine until I was adult, like in my 30s.
Wow. So your parents didn't know that you had got molested till you were in your 30s?
Yeah.
Wow. And for those who might be saying, why did she wait till she was 30 to tell her parents? Because if you have ever been in that state of being molested, it's literally gripping. It silences the victim for various reasons. I've been in that situation where being molested, I didn't tell my parents until I was well older, like almost 17, 18 years old, that I was being molested from the time I was 4 years old to about 17 years old by my grandmother's husband at the time. So for those who may be watching and you've been in situations like this, God is here to heal you through our story. And that's why it's important for women like ourselves to tell our story. And Lakina said you had been molested. You didn't tell your parents till you were older. How did that affect that relationship, even in telling them at an older? What was their response, if you don't mind sharing?
They were basically in shock. They were in shock, and it really wasn't until my book got published
and
I had to tell them beforehand. And so then once it got published, they were just in shock, and also saddened, and not understanding why at the time, why I didn't say anything, so they could have done something, protected, and fought for me. And I just, at being a young kid, and, parents were strict, I was kind of scared to tell them. I thought I was going to get in trouble because I knew it was something wrong, and then the abuser would say, don't say anything, you're going to get in trouble, and that whole thing. And I'm young, so I just kind of blotted it out. And then for years, a part of that memory I really did not remember until later on, as I began to go through some healing process and as I began to evolve
as a woman. Wow. Against all odds. Now, you've been through that. You get pregnant at a young age, and you get older and you get married. So let's talk a little bit about you as a wife, your journey of becoming a wife. How old were you when you first got married?
Well, when I first got married, I was only 17. So I was still young. My parents had to sign for me to get married. And so that marriage, I had 4 beautiful children out of that marriage, but it was very traumatic. I underwent like so much abuse. Any abuse you can think of, I went through it mentally, emotionally, physically. Even spiritually, you know, like
Wow.
I went through that for about 7 years.
Wow. So you were married from 17 to about 24?
Yeah, about 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, about around there.
Wow. And the whole marriage was just abuse.
It was just horrible. It was from day one. The second day we got married, I need to get an annulment, you know, because
Wow.
he went crazy. It
He
was
was in the church too, right?
yes, he was a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was horrible. Like what I went through, I wouldn't wish it on, you know, my enemy. You know, I was spit on, talked about, slapped, knocked unconscious, busted in the mouth, so many different things that went on there. Um, it was horrible. And
Against all odds.
yeah,
Against all odds. Once again, we building somewhere here. I need you guys to understand that Lakina is on tonight. She's sharing her story. I'm telling you, God is so good against all odds. So this was a pastor, and we're not knocking, you know, that's why we got to understand that pastors are people too. That doesn't make it okay what he did. But so many people put pastors on pedestals where they can't, they don't understand when they do things like this. But he needed some healing. I take it.
yes,
Yeah.
he needed some healing and
How did you get out of that relationship finally?
so I got out of that relationship because I tried actually many times to get out. I left many times and he came back, and it was hard because I did try to get out. But the very last straw is I was pregnant with my fourth child, and you know I tried to commit suicide so many times, and so this time I decided that I was going to drive myself into a car, not a car, but a brick wall. And so as I made the decision, I'm just going to end it all because I didn't feel love. Nobody knew what I was going through. No one knew what I was going through. But when I did try to voice it to our leaders, but I was made as if I was the bad person. And so, because no one could really believe that
He was doing it.
do these type of things. You know, women would say, "You're so lucky. Oh my God, I want a husband like him." But they didn't know what I was going through behind closed doors. So at this time, I was getting ready to just drive my car into a brick wall. And I never forget my pastor at the time, because we actually started going to separate churches, because I wasn't allowed to go to the same church he was going to because he felt I might expose, you know, I may come with a bruise or what have you. So I stayed at the church that I was going to. And so the pastor, the secretary, and the choir director called me on the three-way. And I was driving. I wasn't going to answer, but I answered it. And they said, at the time, they called me Sister Keena. Sister Keena, Sister Keena, we just want to tell you that we love you. We love you. And at that moment.
Wait, hold up. Stop. So you were getting ready to commit suicide.
Yes.
By driving your car into a brick wall.
Yes.
You get a phone call.
Yes.
Of love.
Yes.
Come on.
And they said, we just want to tell you that we love you. And at that moment, that's all I needed to hear, because I literally did not feel loved or feel that no one cared. And so I told them, I said, you don't even know what I actually was getting ready to do. And they started crying and praying for me because God had put it on their heart. And it was urgency, you know, because they was just like, we love you, Sister Keena. You know, like they knew.
Like they knew.
So, at that moment, I didn't. And I said, God, I need a way out. Help me. You know, I need to get out of this. And so he began to give me a strategy on how to basically escape. And I did. And so long story short, I went to my dad and I told him what was going on. And he said, oh, you about to leave right now. And so,
I know your daddy. So I know he was going, yeah.
Yeah, my mom was like, well, wait a minute, do counsel. I said, it's not going to work. He said, did you hear what she said? The man is hitting on her. She's about to go. And so I had already found me another place. And so they came and they said when I was moving, and they came and moved all my stuff out. And so the ex-husband at the time, he didn't know what was going on. So he was just like, oh, we're moving? So he started helping move it while my dad and my brother was there packing my stuff. And so
He
was a little confused because I didn't say anything. And so he helped us move it to the next place. And at the end, I said, no, this is my place. I'd already been saying we were going to be over, but he didn't believe me. And I said, go back to your place, and this is me and the kids. And so that's how it ended. I filed for divorce. And
was he mad?
He was mad. Even after that time, you know, he tried to come to my place and I had to call the police. He had a gun and barricaded in my house with my young son, because I had just had him like a week after I moved. And the police blocked off the street. It was like something in the movie. And so after that situation, he went to jail for a couple of days, and then he had left. And then
wow. Okay, so that's marriage number 1.
Yeah.
And then you get married again.
Right. And so during that time, you know, after that, I was so angry and upset. You know, I backslid basically because I was just so hurt. Like, how could God allow me to go through all of this stuff? You know, I was very bitter. I was very angry. So I was very, very mean. And I was mean.
Imagine.
Right.
No.
I had gotten so mean. I was mean to my brother, my dad. I just didn't like men. I was very mean. And I would always ask God, like, don't let me become this evil, mean woman I felt myself becoming, because I felt myself becoming this person. And, you know, basically, you know, just had a lot of boyfriends and just
wilding out.
Just a horrible.
Like we all do. Wild out.
Right.
So you even end up, if you don't mind talking about that a little bit, even getting into the lifestyle of dancing.
Yes. Yep. So I got exposed to that when I was actually 15 years old.
Okay.
I did my first show. And
we ain't talking about, hold up. We ain't talking about like she was dancing on like for background for like TLC.
Oh, no.
God delivered her. She's delivered, but she experienced dancing, stripping.
Yes.
Yeah, like pose and stuff, like taking off her clothes. I mean, this is something that I'm telling you, against all odds. I'm building up a story here against all odds.
Right.
Okay, so were you married when you were stripping?
So I started when I was 15 for a moment, and I made so much money that night. I was just 15, but stopped, had kids, and was in this marriage, and so I was finishing college, and I was in school, so I was doing it while I was in school and working. And
wait,
so I'm
in school and working.
And I have 4 kids.
You a businesswoman. You a businesswoman for real. Okay, I'm not glorifying stripping for all y'all deep folk. I'm just saying he was about that bread. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And so my thing is that I mainly just did private parties. And so it was for like executives. It was for men of that caliber. So I wasn't in the club.
You was exclusive.
Right. So like they would call me for the Super Bowl parties and things like that. And so I would be at those events. And so, you know, I would just go for an hour, you know, do what I need to do, have my boot filled up with money. And that was that. I was in school and working. And like I said, I had 4 kids at the time. So
well, you wasn't married though at that time.
No, I wasn't married at the time. So I was single. This was when I was in that angry mode. So
got you.
You know, I was, you know, just acting a fool. And I remember one time I had left the kids at home. I knew I was just gonna be back for an hour. It wasn't that far, and it was actually a Super Bowl party. And the men were drunk and wild, and they began to fight over me because they wanted me to stay longer. And so my friend, who was like a security guard for me, was like, no, she's done for the night. And so I had to go in another room, and they started shooting. And I never forget, a bullet went right past my head and
what?
Through the wall. And
Jesus.
something told me to move a little bit over. And had I not moved, it could have just shot me right in the head. And so I said, God, you got to help me. Like, you got to help me. And I went home and I just, just prayed and cried out to God. Like, I got to change. And then I met my second husband.
Okay. So where did you meet your second husband?
I actually met him online.
Okay, online.
I actually met him online.
Like gladpeople.com?
Yeah, I forget what it was.
Gladpeoplemeet.com. Christian Mingle?
No, it wasn't Christian Mingle.
It was. Okay, so you met him online, you guys get married, and then what?
Right. So we get married. And he was totally opposite. He wasn't abusive or anything like that, but he had still issues going on too. So the marriage ended up being a toxic marriage as well.
Okay.
As far as like infidelity and things like that. And so he was a leader, in the church as well. And so, but during this time, I began to change my life once I got with him.
Okay.
He's the one who stopped me from the dancing. He knew everything that I did, and encouraged me and pushed me to stop all of that. And so, yeah. And so, the downfall in our marriage was the infidelity, among other things. And then I gave 3 more children to him. So I had a total of 7 kids. And so the 7th child passed away.
Wow.
And that is what was, he couldn't get over that.
Okay, so your husband then couldn't get over that. Okay, I've heard your story before, so I want to ask a question. Which husband was who was on drugs?
That was the second one.
Okay. Wow. So, and you even said you had to go to the crack house to get him out.
Yeah, many times. I had to go get him out. He thought he was dying, pray for him, and and so that was just a stressful, toxic relationship, marriage. Not knowing whether the person would come home at night. It was just bad. It was bad for me and the kids. So a lot of times, and this was something new for me, so it was hard for me to kind of deal with it in the beginning. Until I began to just kind of, God began to give me strength through it all. And
so your second marriage lasted for how long?
That was for 6 years.
Wow, you a trooper. Like, who? But I believe, like you said, okay, so he came into your life and you stopped, the lifestyle of being a stripper, your exclusive stripping
right.
venture. And so in retrospect, sometimes God brings people in our life for a season, reason, and lifetime. So with that being said, let's move forward to you getting out of that marriage, because we got a lot more to cover. You getting out of that marriage. Listen, y'all, this ain't no secret. This is in her book called Why. Lakina has written a book called Why. You got to get this book. It's a page turner. You will read it. I'm talking about Against All Odds. If anybody that know, I see Aisha Reddy on here. She's met you before and probably looking at it like, wow. She's saying, wow, against all odds. Like, because she's met you, so she knows who you are and what you do and what you're doing now, how God has blessed you. So she's literally watching like, wow, even me. And Letitia LA says, it's amazing how when you have a foundation of God at a young age, even when you're out in the streets backslide, we still have a call on our life. We know to call on the Father. We already know what you was praying.
Yeah.
To deliver you. And so, wow, that foundation is definitely true. Okay, so you get out of that marriage and you like, forget it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm done. So I'm done. I'm not getting ever getting married ever again. I decided I was going to focus on myself, my kids, my career.
At this point, you had 6 children, single woman, been through this horrific past, and you just like, God, I'm over it. Yeah. Not doing. I'm good. Me and the babies, you got us. I'm good.
Yeah. And I just said, God, you could be my husband.
And during
this time, years of just my aloneness and just spending time with God and also being celibate in that time frame, you know, God was an awesome, I mean, I say he was the best husband ever. He was a provider. You know, he was my everything. When I say everything, everything. When I say God, I want this purse. He blessed me to get it. Just little things like that. Like you would go to your father or your spouse and say, hey, I want this. You know, he literally gave me every single thing, you know, and I did not lack for anything. Listen, increase.
Let me tell you right now. I hope my friend, and I know she's gonna be mad at me. I hope she's watching. I think she is. Nikki. Y'all don't know her, so she ain't on Facebook. But Nikki, I need you to hear this story. I'm telling you. Matter of fact, y'all need to meet. You and Nikki need to meet. I'm not gonna say her last name. She's watching on YouTube. Y'all need to meet because you have something to deposit into her. This story right now, how guys, I just got a revelation when I was just listen. So Nikki, I love you. I love you. I love you, sister. I want y'all to meet. Okay, and she wants to be a realtor. We'll talk about all that later. Yep, she wants to be a realtor. Okay, so you get through this marriage and you say, God, I'm done. God, you be my husband. I'm straight. Man.
I'm straight. You know, and I had so many proposals when people when they found out I was single, you know,
I believe
they was coming, you know, the ministers, pastors, whoever. God said, I said, no, he did not. No,
so people was coming, guys was coming to you, say, God said you're my wife.
Yes, I
tricked you.
Yes, and I said no. No.
Oh, well, Lakina, somebody's asking a question. Good question. Letitia, I believe. Letitia said, how did you get through the loneliness with while being celibate? Oh, that's deep.
Well, I'm kind of a workaholic and I've always been like that. So I involved myself in work, school. I had started my doctor's program. So I had started doing my doctor's, but then I got so involved in real estate, I stopped that. But I plan to continue with that to get my doctor's degree.
Awesome.
And then my children. So I began to just to focus on that. And I just redirected my focus and not on man and just focus on God, spending time with him. And he began to teach me and tell me who I was. And so with that, I had developed the candles of the affirmations. I am royalty. Because during this time, he would speak those things to me. You are a queen. You are worthy. He began to show me who I really was. And so I was just loving it that he was loving on me, showing me who I was, because at that time, you know, I was in so many different relationships. I didn't have that communion time because I've been married since I was 17.
17.
I've been going through, you know, so I, you know, even when I prayed and talked to God, it was at a place of, God, I'm tired. I just need you, you know, fix this. Why is this going? Why am I going through this, you know, just the sad prayer, you know, when you're going through, you know, but during this time, it was just him showing me, teaching me, loving on me and me loving on him. And it really built me who I am today during that time. So I just redirected my focus.
Redirecting your focus. So I hope that helped, Letitia. Redirecting your focus, staying busy. But when you got into a relationship, was it hard though? Because sometimes when you're not exposed to something that really, when you get into that relationship with someone that you may like or whatever, those things that you thought you was not even thinking about, they come rushing in like the Russian mighty wind. Believe me, I know. I'll be like, forget it. I need to be delivered.
Yeah, it does, you know. But I didn't date. I just did the entertainment, you know. I just did, and then
you didn't even date?
No, not really. I may have talked to them, but I would pray and ask God because I couldn't afford to mess up again. I couldn't afford to get with the wrong person again because of what I had already gone through. So I would just pray and ask God, whoever is not supposed to be in my life, make them disappear.
Letitia said, thank you. So need to redirect her focus. See, the show is helping. I told you, God told me this show is going to help so many people. Those who are watching, please continue to tag, share, and invite. Okay, so you said, God, you told me you prayed a prayer. You told God you was through, but you said, but if you decide.
Right. So I said, because he said, well, because God would talk to me. And I said, well, if if you got somebody for me, but God had made me so cocky. I said nobody is worthy of me. Like they not worthy. Because he built my confidence up so much. I said, who
Come
is
on.
worthy? I said, do you even have a son that's worthy of me? Like, I don't think you do. That's really what I said. I don't have time for no foolishness. I don't have time. So I said, but if you do, let me tell you what I want. And I began to develop this image in my head, and I began to say the characteristics, the everything of what I wanted, what I did not want. Somebody that was patient, someone that was okay with children. I didn't want another blended family, so I said he can have kids, but let his kids be grown. I don't want the blended family.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that come home at night, because that was very important to me, because I had a husband that did not come home at night for days. So I, talk, work out, and can do things around the house as a handyman that works. So I was very specific.
Yes.
With this person. Then I said, okay, well, I'm done. And next thing I know, maybe a few months later, then he appeared.
Hey, honey, I love Chris. Chris is the bomb. Everything she described, that is Chris. I would tell you bring Chris on, but we might bring him on later. This is if he's not busy. Chris, okay, so that's your husband, Chris.
Right.
And y'all been married for what, about 5 years now?
Going on 5 years.
And you met him in the church, so at least you didn't give up on the church guys. Because honey, I was get it. Give me a thug. Like I'm just playing.
I said I didn't want no pastor. Because the other two were pastors. I said I don't want no pastor. I said he could be an usher or a deacon.
And he is a deacon. For now. Another show for now. He's a deacon for now, but that is not his call. He is a pastor.
Right.
I'm gonna spill my tea on that. That's a whole nother show. All right. Yeah, Chris is about. I love Chris. Chris is patient. Chris is kind. He's a handyman.
Yeah.
How'd you know all this? I know them personally. I've been in their personal space. I don't travel with them. I was like, girl, you got the bomb husband. Because, honey, you was a handful.
Yeah.
In a good way. Lakita they're such a cute couple. I love them. So that's your journey as a wife. So if anybody's watching and you feel like that you done messed up, you done been married 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, they say somebody said, how did you meet Chris? How did you meet him? Real quick. Tell us.
At church. At church, he was always there, but I really didn't pay attention or really notice him until one day I was teaching at the church, a Bible study, and I had noticed him because he looked at me a different kind of way, and I said, "Wow, see, why did he look at me like that?" And so I just didn't think nothing of it. But later on, he told me that's when God illuminated me to him.
Wow.
And then, we didn't talk or anything for months after that, but he noticed me, and then I had noticed him. But it was at the church. Yeah.
At the church. So she didn't give up on the church, man. They was out there.
Yeah, because I wanted a guy after God's own heart.
That's Chris.
If he had God's heart, then I know that he would treat me right, and just love God and really in tune with God. Then I know everything would be okay. So I didn't want to go getting just no regular dude, because that is a battle with that too, because of where I was going. But I wanted someone after God's own heart.
Right. And Chris is definitely a man after God's own heart. I mean, totally awesome guy. Love you, Chris. Hope you're watching. All right. So that's your journey. So you're a mother. You have 6 beautiful children. Ages, just give us the age ranges.
21, 19, 18, 13, 9, and 8.
9 and 8. They're such a beautiful family. What, 3 girls, 4 girls?
3 girls, 4 boys.
Oh, 2 girls, 4 boys. So yeah, okay, that's right. You have more boys. So and I love what you said that you God has blessed you to be able to put them through college. You have 3 in college.
Yes. Well, two, she's going to college in the winter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, wow. And she amazes me. All right. So the children are, when I called you earlier to brief you for the show, you were helping the boys with their homework.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you have a pretty busy life. So let's talk about you as a businesswoman. What do you do in business, and who inspired you? Let me ask you this. What was your greatest inspiration? Did you know you was going to be successful as a child, as you were even going through all of that, what you went through? We're talking about against all odds tonight. I want people to understand that no matter what you've been through, if you have a dream and God has have commissioned you to do something, no matter against all odds, you can do it. What was like when you were going through that? Did you think that you would be in the place you are now?
I didn't, because I had gone through so much. I began to come numb to life. And I was just going through the motion, getting up, getting the kids ready, going to school, going to work. But it was still something in me that was driving me to still go through and finish school and do all that. But at a very young age, probably about 13, 14, 15, what I really wanted to do in life was be a role model to young girls, African-American girls. Right. And I wanted to do something that it was something rare that somebody young, African-American was doing. So I can empower other girls. So that was a dream of mine. So I had picked that I wanted to be basically a doctor and be in forensic medicine and discovering the causes of death, which, deaths, cutting up people, diagnosing, all those things. So that's what I wanted to go to college for. So I had a plan. I was going to finish high school early, which I did. I did finish high school early.
Okay.
And then life happened. I got pregnant at 16, right before I was going to, go off to college and all of that. And so it stopped. So I thought it was over. But still, the thing that I wanted to do, I'm still doing that, but just in a different way. So I'm doing it in business. I'm doing it empowering young girls, for domestic violence, building up their self-esteem, knowing their worth and value. So I'm still doing that, but just in a different field.
I love Letitia. Could somebody please be more like Letitia? She is active in the show. That's what we need. Letitia says your testimony lets her know that against all odds, there's still hope. God is still in the business business. Yes, he is. We buying that chicken right now. You will not come back on here, chicken.
Jesus.
No. Stop it. Okay. Y'all don't know. I don't want the spiritual warfare on here. For real. I don't know what that is. It's weird. I never had that happen. Okay. Stop, Tiffany.
It's almost like an echo.
Okay, it stopped. It started. Okay, we're gonna keep moving. All right, so we talked about you being, so what else do you do in business? What else do you have? Let's talk about a little bit. You're a realtor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
So in real estate. My niche is real estate investing. So I deal a lot with real estate with investors, first-time home buyers as well. So I do a lot in real estate, and I've been doing that for a number of years. I also have a consulting company as well for real estate.
Yeah.
I'm an author, so I've written some books. I also written 2 ebooks that's on my real estate website for first-time home buyers, the first steps into doing that, because I do deal a lot of home buyers and sellers. So, and they always ask me, what do I need to do to sell my house? How can I sell it fast? So I said, let me just create a book that they can just get, and it's just a guide. So I created that. I actually just created that during the pandemic.
Oh yeah, you've been working hard during the pandemic, honey.
Yeah. And then I have the one for first-time home buyers. So if you're a home buyer looking to buy, there's the steps of what you need to do to be able to make sure you're ready as far as your credit, mortgage approvals, all of that. So it's on my website, LaKinaTheRealtor.com, and it's only $4.99. You can download it.
Yep. So you can reach Lakina for that book at Lakina the Realtor. I have the information on the screen. So as a businesswoman too, you are also a talk show host.
Yes.
Yes, you just ventured out into talk show hosting, and let's talk a little bit about the show.
Okay. So the show is called Believe in Yourself Tuesday. And so it's really something that God gave me last year. And so he wanted it to be a show basically to inspire, uplift, and motivate people to have faith again, because a lot of people, their faith is down. They are not believing, just faith is really, really low. So the show is just kind of to empower them in any area of their lives. And I'm really big on faith and believing, and I believe, and I've always have, that you can be and do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to do it. You know, with my first marriage, every day I was told that I was stupid and dumb and I would never graduate from college. So he would say, I don't even know why you're going to school, because you're never going to graduate. So although he said those things, I rejected what he said. I didn't let it come into my mental space. And I said, no, I will graduate, and and I'm going to actually get a master's on it. So I'm going to show you. And I did it. And he couldn't take my mind. So basically, you know, my thing is, no one can take your mind. It can't take anything from you. You have to give it away. So the show is mainly to inspire and empower people, you know, to just believe in you, believe in your dreams, and just continue to move forward and do it, because we all have purpose in life. We all have a message, and that each story and each thing that we go through, make it a testimony, make it a story. So everything that I went through in life, I use those stories, I use those things, and it made me who I am today.
A powerful, phenomenal woman. I'm so glad to know you. She's acting quiet at the office, but she's not quiet. Yes, she is. She's such a sweetheart. All right, so during the pandemic, girl, I'm excited about this next thing. Oh, let's talk about your authorship. So you've authored how many books so far?
So I have, I think 5. So I have the book Why.
Why?
Collaboration. It's called Dreamers on the Rise. That's coming out September 26th. Les Brown for the book.
That's a dream. That's a dream book, right?
Yeah, that's that one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I have another one. It's a collaboration of women. Is gathering the fragmented part, so nothing is lost, and that's dropping this month as well. And then I created the 2 ebooks that I have, and then I'm also working on another book, should be done in a couple months, and it's called Believe and Achieve. And then I just got 2 other books that I just got the titles and things this month, so I'll be working on that. That'll be coming out sometime next year.
So you're working on books. You have books that's coming out. You have a book that's already out called Why. And Why, you know, how can they get the book Why? Because Why tells kind of what we talked about tonight, against all odds, that that God just blessed you to persevere and endure all of that to be the phenomenal woman that you are today. How can they get a copy of Why?
Well, Why is on Amazon. It's at Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million. You can get it on my website at LaKinaTheAuthor.com.
Wow, I love it. Go to Lakina. Hey, Apostle West is on. He's saying, awesome to see the words of God coming to pass. Keep progressing, women of God, or women of God. So awesome. So let's see. Let's talk. Okay, so during the pandemic, we were talking, and you telling me, you were saying, guess what? I started a new business.
Oh yeah.
You started a whole phenomenal business during the pandemic. So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing during the pandemic.
So along with, you know, my real estate and all those other things that I was doing, I created an online store. It's a bling store. So it's royalblingshop.com. And so it has all bling shirts. We do custom shirts as well. And so I always had, I had my shirts, which was I Am Royalty and I Am Treasured, with my book launch. And so I like bling, women like bling. And so I just said, let me just make something. What can I create right now that's going to, you know, basically make me money while I'm asleep? And so I came up with this. And we only been doing it for maybe about 2 months or so.
Yeah.
So I haven't even done a big launch, but within our first month, we did over 300 sales. And that's just a small launch. And then I also did that because I do business coaching as well. So I had a coaching client. And so she was just having a hard time with doing the website and just giving me excuses. And so me with excuses, I've been through a lot, and those excuses don't work for me.
Yeah. You said against all odds, honey. No excuse. You ain't have no excuse, but
no excuse. So I said, well, let me do it to make sure I'm not asking you to do anything that's too hard, that's unattainable. So I went ahead, did the website. I did my website.
Yeah, you did the Running Man website?
Yes, for the very first time. I see why people charge what they charge for websites.
Yeah. Listen.
I did it myself.
Wow.
And it took me all day, but I did it myself. My husband does all the operations part. So he does the pressing of the shirts, the stones. He does all of that. And I do the business part of it. And so I did it, created it. And then within our first week, from just a little marketing, and I created a strategy for the business. Yeah. That first week, we did 100 sales. And the next week, another 100. And the next week, another 100. And so, like I said, it was a soft launch. I haven't really publicized it yet, which I'm going to within the next week or so. But, I just have
Chris.
Yeah.
Chris gonna be pressing shirts. Stretch your hands out to Chris. Because he gotta press these shirts, but
right, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, Tina. Go ahead. You got something else to say?
Yeah. So that's a little bit about that business there, and
what's coming up. What can you tell us? Can you leak anything that, or just kind of tell us like what else is coming? What else are you working on? What else? I know you have Treasure Within too. Talk about Treasure Within.
Yeah. So the Treasure Within is a nonprofit. And so I've had it for a couple years. I just recently turned into a nonprofit within the last year and a half or so. But I always had the company. And so what we do is provide mentorship to young girls in the inner city. So I mainly was doing Pontiac, and so I branched off to Detroit area within the last year and a half or so. So it's just classes, an 8-week program. And so we emphasize self-esteem. We do a lot of work. I have collaborations with other companies, nurses and things, and schools and financial experts that come in to pour into the young ladies. And so it's not just your average school or class. It's very interactive, and we make sure that they take something from it. And not only do the young girls take something from it, the mentors take stuff from it as well. Yes. You can attest to the
last semester was phenomenal. Yes. Young lady, they shared so much. They cried. We cried with them. We prayed with them. You even had a graduation where if they didn't feel love ever in life, this whole, it was like a 3 or 4 month journey that we had with them. And at the end, Lakina and the organization, they actually, I've never seen nothing like this. It's like a graduation, but it's like a ball, and people come, great women came from this lady. Who was that lady that came that did like, she was like a news reporter or something like that. She Oprah and things. She worked with Oprah and different things like that. So it's really inspiring. It inspired me, and I was just so privileged to be to be one of the mentors to help steer these young ladies that you want and help, and to pour into them as well. So thank you so much for that opportunity. Yeah. So listen, wow, against all odds, everybody, against all odds, Lakina Folks made it and is making it. And without God, you're nothing. Your foundation was sure. So it was inevitable against all odds that you would be in the place that you are and where you're going even further. And so in standing and believing in yourself, believing in God first, believing in yourself, and helping others to do the same. Listen, Lakina, I am so happy, and I'm so proud to know you as a friend, a sister, and to be able you to come on in the know to share your story. This will be one of many interviews that you will go and you will be able to tell your story for God's glory, because your story truly God gets the glory. So we're done for the night. I want to also ask you a few questions at the end. These are like my 5 little questions I want to ask you real quick, just so people can kind of get to know a little bit more about you before we grow up. Before we go off. Okay, if you could be doing anything besides real estate and everything else that you do, what else would you do?
I would say probably a doctor.
Wow, I can see that. Yeah. Like a medicine doctor, like working on people, or like psychiatry?
Probably both. I'm interested in both.
Okay, awesome. Okay, who is the one person in business or just in life have you not met but you would like to meet?
I would love to meet Bill Winston.
What?
Bill Winston.
That's your uncle in your head.
Right. That's my goddaddy in my
head. Your goddaddy.
That's my goddaddy.
That's a great one. We might have to get him on the show. We have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. When you go out each day, when you go out each day to do what you do, what is the one thing you must have with you?
Well, my cell phone, because that's where all my business transpires. So emails, texts, phone calls. So I would say my phone.
Okay, your phone. Yeah. Okay, so when you're home, what do you do to relax?
So when I'm at home, what I do to relax is I read or I listen to audio books. So I love to read. I've always been a book reader. I love to read. Ever since I was a young girl, I had so many books. So I like to just read, go on the porch outside on a nice day and just sit back, relax and read, or I put it on audio and just listen to my books and read. And because I do so much, sometimes I don't have to get enough time to just read my books like I want to. So that's really what I do when I'm at home, just to relax and just read.
I love it. So what's next for Lakina? I think we already answered this, but let's say it again. What's next? What's happening next with Lakina?
Well, what's happening next is I got the other 2 books that's coming out. That'll be coming out next year that I'm working on. One is a women's empowerment book, and then the other one is a book of more of neuroscience, I would say.
Yeah, you talked about that.
It's going to be really, really good. So I'm working on that, and the show,
yes,
coming up, and hopefully, waiting for some phone calls. But my book will be a movie.
Yes, come on, movie! Can I play one of the strippers? That's y'all don't pray for me. I am just playing Apostle. I am playing. Please don't get me. I'm a pastor now, so I got to be careful what I say. Right. What I'm saying. I'm just playing. I don't want me, but I do want to be in the movie, low key. I could be an extra. All right. So how can our viewers reach you, Lakina? If they want to reach out to you for an interview, they want to reach out to you for business coaching, because she does business coaching as well. And she also, they want to reach out to you in any facet of what we talked about, to get a book, if they want a business coaching, if they need their daughter to be in Treasure Within, they want some real estate sold, or they got to sell, they want to buy a house. What do they need to do to reach you? Don't call me, because I ain't giving you her number.
Right.
Go ahead, Lakina.
So LakinaFolks.com mainly has everything I do on one website. So you can book me to speak, you can book for real estate investing, you can book for business coaching. So LakinaFolks.com, you can reach me there. Lakina the Realtor, you can reach me there. Lakina the Author, and for the Treasure Within, it's thetreasurewithinyou.org.
Listen, y'all, Lakina got websites, for days. You hear me? I love it. She got so listen for real. Inbox her on Facebook too. If you miss any of that, I have it on the screen here. Hey, Prestina. Prestina is on. I just see her pop in. Hey, Prestina. Yvonne said we laughing out loud. I know. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm not crazy. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Letitia laughing. This was an awesome show. Says K Ready. K Ready, another fellow realtor in the house. K,
that realtor shirt.
Hold on. I'm going to show that shirt again. Let's show that shirt. Okay, you guys, come on, okay, you guys to get one of these right here. Everything you touch
turns to soul.
Turns to soul.
Royal Bling
I know
Shop.
your son, right? Royal Bling Shop. I know your son can make it too, but support your sister, your fellow. I know you will. Okay, I'm not putting you on front, but listen, Lakina, this has been a pleasure. I am so glad we went a little over. It's okay that you came on. What would you have to say before we close to those who are maybe going through some of the things that we talked about that you've been through, maybe been through it, but still can't get over it, maybe still dealing with things of the past and they feel like they can't get over that hump or they feel like it's just a barrier and they have not been able to stay against all odds. What would you say to them?
Well, I would say first, put your mind to do it. Your mind is powerful and you can do and achieve anything you want to do if you put your mind to do it. And what someone says about you does not mean that that's true. Even though they may say, awful things, you reject what they say and don't let that come into your borders. Don't let that come into you. You say that you are great, you are successful, and that you are coming out. Another big thing is forgiveness. Forgiveness. Forgiving those that have done you wrong and doing things wrong. Being able to forgive. But my thing is that believing in you, believing in the Most High, believing in God is just the main thing that helped me get through. And then believing in myself, knowing that I was an overcomer, knowing that although my surroundings and where I was, it was horrible, but that's not who I was destined to be. I saw myself as different. I saw myself as great. I saw myself as being a role model and a motivational to other women, and that you can overcome it. I've overcome abuse. I've overcome a death of a child. I had my last child that passed away in my arms. I overcame all of that. I overcame suicide, overcame depression, and that you can do it.
You overcame poverty too.
I overcame that. And now, I'm able to,
help others.
Get what I want and help
and
others.
do what you want and help others. Believe me, God is able. Your story is amazing. I need you to tell your story some more.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter where you are right now. That's not where you will be tomorrow. That's not where you'll be next month. That's not where you'll be next year. Continue to evolve, have self-development, continue to, read books on self-improvement, get away of the negative people and things that's around you and surround yourself with positive energy, because when you have those negative things and people coming around you, you're giving them and they're taking from you. Don't allow them to take from you. Keep your peace and just keep believing, and you can do it. You can do anything you want to do. Put your mind.
Believe. You gotta believe. Come on, say your believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, Tuesday. Kings and queens. Say that.
Well, thank you, kings and queens, for hanging out with us on today on In the Know. And remember, everything you need is right there inside of you. All you have to do is believe in yourself.
Come on, give it up. Come on, I need y'all to pump the hearts. I need y'all to pump the lights. Come on. Y'all, this show has blessed me. I have to stop. I didn't even know some of the stuff I did. But I am so excited. Come on. I don't see nobody pumping no hearts. I need y'all to pump the hearts. Y'all stale. I couldn't hang out with y'all. I'm just playing. I need y'all to come back next week. I don't know y'all. All right, Lakina, I am so excited that you joined us on tonight.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on, sharing your story and being very open tonight. Because I truly believe if this show has helped you. Letitia I love Letitia. You come on every week because you hype. I like you a lot. Yeah, she be hype at church. I love it. Listen, if this show has blessed you, thank you, sweetie. If this show has blessed you, please come on, say something in the comments. I mean, although we don't get on here for the likes, but we want to know that the shows are being a blessing. We want to bring hot, relevant topics to you. Lakina survived molestation. She survived against all odds, being pregnant at a young age, growing up in a strict household. She survived, being rebellious. She survived against all odds. 2 abusive marriages. And God blessed her with and out of all that, she's been blessed with a wonderful husband, 6 beautiful children, a booming real estate business, a booming royalblingshop.com t-shirts. I should have had one on tonight. I got like 2 of them. I'm gonna get some more. She has books. She's an author. She does. I mean, what the heck? God is good. I'm telling you, against all odds, she has come out. And guess what? She is not selfish. She wants to help others achieve greatness. So I'm trying to tell you, connect. Listen, Yvonne Skinner said, yes, she has inspired me. And Yvonne knew you back in the day, her, the Skinners and Apostle Moulton. I mean, we connected last year, Lakina, believe it or not, I feel like I've been knowing you forever.
Right.
We connected last year and come to find out, my family. Yeah. So I used to believe in divine relationships. Pastor Shante always says, pray and cover divine relationships.
Yes.
So you know what? And now I'm about to put you on front. Can you just pray for those that are watching? Just that they will be able to believe in themselves and know against all odds, God is able. Yeah. Kay really said, such a beautiful person inside and out. Yes, you are. So just pray for the ladies or the men that may be watching, those who may be watching the replay, and we're going to get off here.
Okay, thank you. Lord God, we just thank you, Lord God, for today. Lord God, we thank you, Lord God, for this show, Father. Lord God, we just ask, Lord God, that those that are watching, Lord God, that you would let them know that they are royalty, that they are a king, that they are a queen, and they don't have to put up with just any old thing, that they can come higher, that they can have faith to come out of whatever their circumstance is. Lord God, that they'll begin to believe in them, believe more in you, believe in the impossible, and what they need is in the faith realm, and bring it into their reality. Lord God, that you are the Father of all, and no good thing will you withhold from those who love and walk upright before you. Lord God, to just encourage the people's hearts. Lord God, that you just give them peace, love, serenity, and harmony in their lives, in their homes, with their families, with their friends, in their businesses, that prosperity will be their portion.
Yes, God.
And Lord, we just thank you. Lord God, we give you praise, we give you honor. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Well, hey, that is the show on tonight. Once again, Lakina, thank you so much. Tell Chris come say wave and say hi. Is he there? What's he doing? He can't say hi. He's like, this is my show. That's what he probably for the kids. All right. Well, hey, Chris, if you watch
the kids contained.
You keep the kids. I got you. Because the 2 little ones, I love them. Right. All right. So listen, I love them all. Listen, thank you again for joining. I'm just going to end the show real quick. Thank you again for joining. I love you. And I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Say good night. All right, y'all. That is the show for tonight. We went a little over like 20-something minutes. I try to keep it to like an hour, but sometimes the topics be that good. Real, raw, relatable, hot topics coming to you. We got some shows that's about to blow your mind. Goddess is doing some big things within the know, and I want you to keep us in prayer. If you would like to be a sponsor on the show, reach out to us. That means that as a sponsor, you can sponsor a show, a month of shows for a very nominal price. If you're a business owner, you can have your business shouted out during the show. We're building our audience. People have been asking, like, what time are you coming on? So that's exciting that people are anticipating and expecting the show to be on. So we come on every Sunday night at 9 p.m. For now, 9 p.m. And we will run replays, during the week. But I want you to know, if you are the sponsor, or if you would like to just be on as a guest, maybe you have a story such as Lakina's or something even more powerful, or I don't know what gets more powerful than that, but a lot of people have powerful stories, very similar or something that you overcame. Also, if you want to, we're going to talk about the upcoming election. We're going to have some elected officials on talking about how, why we should vote. So I want you guys to understand that this show is going to bring you hot, relevant topics that's not just churchy. And ain't nothing wrong with church, because I love God just like everybody else. But I want you to understand that we are human and divine. So there are real, relatable, and raw conversations that we want to have right here on In the Know. And so if you would like to sponsor a month of shows, or even a week of this one show, maybe is a very nominal price where you will be able to come on. We can get you a show commercial produced. If you don't have one produced, we have people that do that, and you can your show will be or your product, brand, or service would be, or event would be shouted out during our show, so we can get exposure for you here on In the Know. So my name is Rich Girl Chantel. And this is In the Know. This is our show for tonight. You all have a wonderful, blessed evening. Thank you so much. I give it up for yourselves. You all have been a great audience. I just want to thank you all again for joining us. So don't forget that believe in yourself, as Lakina said. Trust God. Don't stop. Don't let other people's opinions dictate to you who God has created you to be. You are destined for greatness. Once again, we thank our guest, Lakina Folks, as she has come on and shared her story with us. So good night, and we are out.